First, let you know who the #1 seeds were, and this is how we break it down. 16-team field, 4 regions. You know this, 6 automatic bids, 10 at-large. And the at-large teams determined by the pairwise, and the top 4 teams awarded #1 seeds. And here are your 4 #1 seeds for this year's tournament. Of course, the Frozen Four in Chicago and Denver. Last time they won, 2005, of course, that was a back-to-back scenario. There's Duluth, very strong team. Denver and Duluth having a bit of a cut above for most of the year. And then on came Harvard, who really finished strong. Their last loss came in January, and the Minnesota Golden Gophers. We saw them this year on the ESPN networks, a couple of games. And again, a deep, strong team that certainly is a threat for this year's tournament. So many players stand up, they've given their all. Let's go west, young men. Minnesota Duluth. Boy, what a great year. They have to go to Fargo. Again, everyone should be
Minnesota Duluth can really defend. Hunter Misk has been great in goal. I talked about Denver being the deepest team. Minnesota Duluth may be just a percentage point behind them in terms of depth. They can score. Dominic Toninato and his line mates, Alex Iafallo and Joey Anderson have been great. Anderson's the best F3 in the NCAA. This team is loaded, they're deep, and they are very physical.
The Buckeyes, 32% power play. North Dakota, let's face it, it's a home game. The ring will be jumping, the atmosphere will be unbelievable. And holy shnikey, Sean Richmond, who's on ESPN2? North Dakota and the Terriers.
I am so excited to be in Fargo to call this event again at the Shield Center. Just an awesome matchup here with North Dakota and BU. Maybe the most future NHLers in this tournament will be played in this game between North Dakota and BU. Clayton Keller, a fantastic freshman from BU, and North Dakota, obviously, a lot of experience. This group won the tournament last year. Brock Besser, he's one of the players to keep an eye on. I can't
It's a short trip. Obviously, there's probably not a lot of tickets left because the North Dakota fans had bought all those, but we're excited about it. Again, just being one of the teams in there, and certainly we know we're going to go through 2 good teams to try and get to Chicago.
How would you assess your team going into this year's NCAA tournament as opposed to last year's?
Well, I think this year, last year we were a pretty desperate team down the stretch, and we had to win games even going into our tournament. We beat North Dakota in the semis and lost, and we still weren't sure if we were going to be in the tournament. This year, we've had a pretty consistent year, and we've kind of knew we were going to be in there, but it still didn't take away from the emotion of the games last weekend, and certainly Saturday night it was great for our guys to continue to play well and win the championship, certainly for our seniors, so it was pretty exciting.
You're playing a gunslinging offensive team with some experienced players. When you do that through the course of the year, how does that affect your coaching, preparing for a team that will go out looking to score goals?
Well, we see a lot of teams in our league. I mean, obviously, I think Western Michigan's got a great team too. But Denver can score. We've seen a lot of teams in our league. We play a very good non-conference schedule, so we've seen a lot of different styles. So we're going to just prepare, the way we do to play our game, and obviously try and be aware of some of the things they do. But I know they've got a lot of speed. There's not a lot of familiarity, obviously, with them, but we know they're a good team, and they're in the tournament for a reason.
All right, Coach. Good luck against Ohio State next Friday.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Willie, first of all, your reaction when you saw the draw today?
Anywhere you're going to go is going to be a tough draw. I think Fargo is obviously a short bus trip for us, so that'll be nice. We don't have to fly. Another chance to play a couple good teams. Hopefully we can get through them.
Your 4th time or your 3rd time in the NCAA regions, how does this team stack up in terms of preparation? Do you like where you are right now?
Yeah, I think, each year's been a little bit unique. Our sophomore year, we didn't have a break in the second half, and we had that off weekend before. And then last year, we were playing desperate hockey, battled our way in as the last large. And I think this year's been a year where we've been pretty consistent all year, and we've been towards the top. So I think we know what it takes. We've been a pretty even-keel team. Nothing really rattles us. So, I think we got a right mentality and the right team and the right guys to make some noise.
And it certainly had to help playing in this NCAA Frozen Four tournament, kind of preparing yourself for that postseason play as well.
Yeah, obviously you saw the 2 games, and last night especially was a pretty emotional game, and I think every game from here on out is going to be pretty similar. It was a good test for us, a great chance to win a championship, and we're going to have to win 2 more of them. So.
One thing I think this club's got going for us is obviously going for you is the fact that you've done so well on the road. You look at probably the last year, I think you've lost maybe 3 or 4 games away from Anvil. What do you attribute to that?
You know, I think it's just one of those things when you get on the road. Obviously, you think about school on Thursday, we have Friday, Saturday. All you got to worry about is the game of hockey, and you're in your element there. Another thing is, I think, is just our mentality as a team. I think nothing really rattles us, and I think, you know, even since our senior class, since we've been freshmen, we've had success on the road, and it's just a matter of playing the game the right way and knowing when you go into other teams' building, you gotta keep everything in check and stick to your game plan.
You play Ohio State that first round team that you haven't seen. Is that sometimes a good or a bad thing, playing an uncommon or unknown opponent?
You know, I think every time we've been in this tournament, except for playing Minnesota, we've played teams that we haven't been used to playing. And when it comes down to that, you got to worry about playing your game and not worry about what the other team's doing as much. Obviously, it's not easy going in and playing someone you don't know, but no matter who you're going to play, you're going to be playing a good hockey team. So I think that's what you got to prepare for.
And here's almost a misnomer where fans always think about going to someone other's building. The general consensus I've heard is players usually get pumped up by that, get energized, no matter if they're in opposing building or building, where there's a crowd and there's energy, correct?
Yeah, for sure. I think one of those things you can feed off is taking another team's crowd out of the game. Silence on the road is a good thing, and I think that's something you can really feed off of as a team. And when you hear silence and you start to see people leaving the game, that's something that gets you energized.
Thanks, Willie.